Hello everyone, this is Dr Sukant here. Welcome to all of you to my YouTube channel. As you all know, I'm a consultant nephrologist and kidney transplantation physician, and mostly my videos have been in relation to kidney diseases, kidney transplantation, and various aspects related to that. But today I'm going to talk about something which is much larger in its dimension, its impact, and it has an impact on all aspects of our lives. There is no individual in this entire world whose life has not been impacted by what I'm going to talk about. Yes, indeed, it is the COVID-19 pandemic that has not spared a single individual in this entire planet. No country in the world has been spared of its evil impacts. As it is said in common parlance, it's not over until it's all over. And specifically in relation to COVID, it has been said that no one is safe until everyone is safe. Indeed, there is hardly any individual in this planet whose life has not been impacted and whose life has not been seriously challenged by this whole pandemic. Ever since the pandemic started at the very last day of the year 2019, and it has been almost 2.5 years since the pandemic has taken the world under its grip. And in this context, I have to make an announcement about a book on the impact of the pandemic, the world, on the impact of the pandemic on the entire world and its humanity. The book is titled Disrupted World. Indeed, there is no other event that has disrupted the planet so much as the COVID-19 pandemic. It has disrupted the larger world out there, as well as the sweet little worlds that we all live and that we all hold so dear to us. Everything has been disrupted by this pandemic. The larger physical world out there may settle one day, but how are people in this planet going to reconcile the pandemic has left their little worlds devastated? Now, let me tell you why I feel so strongly about this book. It has been almost 2.5 years ever since the pandemic has taken its beginning at the last day, actually, when the world came to know about the pandemic on the very last day of the year, that is on 31 or 31st of December year 2019. And it has been quite a long time. At the beginning, we were clueless. The entire 7.7 billion people on this planet were exposed to this pandemic. There was no immunity, there were no drugs, no vaccines. We have come a long way. We have billions of doses of vaccinations. We have a few drugs. We have lots and lots of experience about this virus and the pandemic. But are we in a place where we can clearly say that we can emerge out of this pandemic? We can clearly emerge out of this pandemic, and at some point of time, can we say that the pandemic is over? Are we really in that position? Unfortunately, it is not. In fact, the pandemic is showing us newer and newer, what do you call it, strange realities that we had not even expected at the beginning of the pandemic. We thought that maybe in course of time, once we have the vaccines, we had the vaccines, we were quite euphoric about it, but the euphoria that came with the vaccines is gradually giving into the tirade of newer incarnations and avatars of the virus. The last one was, of course, Delta virus in year 2021. That was highly virulent, and after that came the incredibly infectious and transmissible Omicron variant with its multitude of subvariants, sublineages, all these variants that have such incredibly infectious potential that they can cause breakthrough infections in individuals who have been previously infected and previously vaccinated. So how are we really going to fight this tirade of infectious variants? Can we conclusively say that we are in a position to declare that we can win over this pandemic, or are we stuck with this pandemic forever? So let me then walk you through this intriguing journey, which is filled with a bit of science, a bit of sensation, and a lot of human understanding, all of which may just give us a deep insight into how the pandemic has tested our limits and how best we can figure out the solutions for a post-pandemic world. And if you ask me who this book is meant for, there is almost every human being whose life has been impacted by this pandemic. So whether you are a student or a software professional or a homemaker or a newsmaker, a politician or a bureaucrat, a doctor, or for that matter a teacher, there is some takeaway for everyone who has braved this pandemic, who had endured this pandemic, and who have survived this pandemic. So once again, welcome to my book, A Disrupted World. The book is going to be live very soon, and I will share a link how you can get this book from various platforms, especially from Amazon.in, from Notion Press, from Flipkart, and an ebook version is also going to be there very soon, and I also share a link with that as well. So once again, let me ask you, all of you, to join in this intriguing journey filled with a bit of science, a bit of sensation, and a lot of human understanding, all of which may give us a deeper insight into how we can live in the post-pandemic disrupted world in the least disrupted manner. Thank you. Thank you very much.